It was so worth coming all the way from Bengaluru to Hyderabad. Thank you, Ananda, for inviting me. If I were to describe this production with one word, I would use the word original. And I tell you why. Because that word original is misused, misapplied, misinterpreted by most people. Like as if it's a never before seen newness. But etymologically, the real meaning of that word original is returning to the origins, recreating from it, resurfacing, recreating from the original, the root source, the source knowledge. Because I'm telling you, there is nothing new under the sun. Simply because we have not seen it, it doesn't mean it has not been done. But how do you go to the source knowledge, the root and to the origins and resurface by creating something that is so appealing, that is so fresh, that is so new. This is the imagination of the artist. That is why I call this production of Ananda original. And the theme, I want to go to the theme. You know, there are a lot of local heroes, regional heroes who have contributed in defending the culture and the nation during the British colonial rule occupation. But if you look at the history books, they are always constantly talking about the political figures, and that is most of them from the north. But it is so important to highlight the regional heroes, and the best way to do it is not through books, but through dance, theater, and storytelling. Why? Because in dance, theater, and storytelling, there is the energy of emotion, the energy of visually seeing something if it is done properly, under the guidance of someone like Ananda. And it is important to be able to do these stories and turn these local lores into national epics. And it is important because these need to be added to the repertoire of classical dance. And I'll tell you why. There is a word that it is used to describe, dance, nattan, we say, nattan. I have an interpretation for that word. I look at it as a combination of two Sanskrit words, nara and tanavati. Nara is human, tanavati is expansion. So, I look at nattan not as simply dance, but an expansive experience of all human activities, all human experiences in the world. And today's program is an example of that. And how do you create this feeling of reaching out to the audience so effectively? It is by giving the audience the freedom to think, to imagine, because you cannot do a production on freedom and then indoctrinate us with concepts. You see, she didn't do that today. Instead, she stirred the imagination. And how did she do it? By profusion of rasas. And rasa in every aspect, whether it is the angika aspect, movements, when the dancers were dancing in the field, worshipping their tribal gods, or when they were fighting with the Britishers, the angika never left its classicism, and yet it was fresh and new. This I noticed. And another fact that I want to point out, which I don't know if she intended it that way, but I noticed it, and this is a nuance. She had used the solukattu or the musical syllables of an Alluri when, for the first time, the Britishers and Sitaramaraju people, after they have been trained, when they encounter each other. In classical dance, Alluri means blossoming, and it's used as the first dance. It means it's not the end, it's the opening, the blossoming. What a brilliant, genius idea. just gave me goosebumps. And to create something like that, it takes years of just immersing yourself in the art form. And even if most of you didn't get it, if one person like me gets it, it's a wow moment. And that's what I experienced today. And then secondly, half the success in a production is casting. And Ananda is a genius when it comes to casting. And Midursham, whether he is doing Shiva role in the Tales of the Bull and Tiger, or whether today he just lives his role, and very good casting, and very good dancing on, even in an ensemble. Every person did their role. And watching the choreography, I know it is not an easy choreography to pull off on stage, because the stamina has to be maintained till the end. And they all did it so beautifully. I just want to congratulate all of them. And then, of course, so there's the Angika and then the Vachika, the music. Just Sweta and Renuka Prasadji, amazing work you have done. You have created life. And there's emotion, just touched all of us. So beautifully done. And then the Aharya. Whether it is the swaying sugarcane in the back, Gunjan, and Surya Rao, you guys mastered it, absolutely beautiful. And of course, the costuming, of course, as Sir already said, costuming was so beautiful. And the touch of tribal appeal was there without overdoing it, without losing the classic aspect, because after all, she's using a classical dance form to portray the story. I think this production should be seen by every young child in every school all over India. And not only that, in my opinion, I think she should be given a series of things like this to create. And they should replace history books. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ananda.
Thank you so much.